Good afternoon, friends of spirituality, wellness, Riviera Maya, and Mexico. It's an honor for me today to be here with Dr. Alan. Thank you very much for being here. And today we are going to go through a more conscious approach to medicine, a new way, and a new suggestion from the doctor in order to keep our health and maybe focusing a bit more in strengthening our immune system and in bettering our lifestyle. So thank you for being here, Alan.
Hi, thank you. The honor is mine. I'm very glad that I can be here speaking to you. And well, as the title say, this is a more conscious approach to medicine. So I would like to start with a little bit of my personal story. My name is Dr. Alan Arredondo, and I am I did my career in the Instituto Politécnico Nacional. It's one of the biggest medicine schools here in Mexico, and everything started or more than I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, and English is not my native language, but
that's fine. You can speak it perfectly, and I can help you.
Okay, so I am a young doctor. I am 30 years old, and I've been practicing medicine for the last 4 years. What I'm gonna be sharing here with you today is what I've learned in this time. Because what I learned in the medical school was like the standard medical teaching that actually are based on the study plans of the schools in the United States. Here in Mexico, we study the same kind of medicine, so we have like the same approach to the health issues in our society, the same than in the United States. So I was a fan of the we did a broadcast in Spanish first, and I was talking about the standard American diet. The standard American diet is the kind of diet that involves a lot of meat or animal-based foods and processed foods, ultra processed foods, like everything that we can find in a Walmart or 7-Eleven. And I was a fan of the standard American diet. I eat meat every day.
We used
drink. Yeah, you used to too? Okay, I used to eat meat every day, and I drank a lot of Coke in my life. So I was 25, and I was doing my internship here in a hospital here in Cancun. And I was there's a documentary in the internet that says he's fat, sick, and nearly dead. I was fat and sick, and I was not nearly dead, but I was sick. At that time, my blood pressure started to rise, and I was 25. I was with a lot of stress because of the work at the hospital, and there was like the time that everything changed for me, because once I was diagnosed, a physician of the hospital I was doing my internship told me that I needed to take blood pressure medicine, and I was going to need to take
for all your life.
For all my life, yeah. So I was with uncertainty, and then I learned that there was a different approach to medicine that I didn't learn in school, you know. Actually, I learned it the first time that I started to change my mind according to medicine was because I saw a documentary. It is called Fork Over Knives. It's a very good documentary. There are a lot of experts, physicians that talk in the documentary. Where I always talk about two of them. It's Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn and Dr. Colin Campbell. They are like my mentors right now because I want to everything that I'm doing with my medicine and that I want to do in the years to come. It's based on the teachings of people like them because those are very important teachings. I was talking with you and I told you that I wanted to be a cardiologist. I have always loved the physics involved in the our circulatory system. I was always trying to learn more about heart and heart disease and everything. There was a turning point in my life when I learned that all the approaches that we are now taking to treat the heart disease and the arterial disease are actually doing nothing more than I don't know. They are producing for the people that are involved in the treatment, but not for the patients. And then I learned that Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn was giving treatment and based on plant-based foods and antioxidants and change in dietary changes, lifestyle changes. And in his book that is called How to Reverse and Treat Heart Disease, is a very recommendable book. He tells the story about this group of patients that he took. He worked in a hospital, a big hospital in the United States. I don't recall the name, but it's one of the biggest cardiology hospitals in the United States. He performed a lot of surgeries. He performed a lot of bypass, a lot of stents, and he was working for many years in the procedures that I wanted to
study yourself,
to perform. Yeah, I wanted to be a specialist in that kind of procedures, and then he started to take a different approach. He took some patients that was already how can I say it? They didn't have a good how can I say in English? En español es que no tenían un buen pronóstico.
Okay, so they didn't have a good diagnosis in front of them. I mean,
I think it's prognosis, something like that. But
okay. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just trying to help.
They have already took many procedures like stents, and the thing that physicians do when they put a bypass is that they take vein from the leg and they put it in the coronaries, the arteries of the heart. They put it first before the obstruction and then after the obstruction. So it's like a bridge between the artery, and that's a bypass. And that's why some of those patients have already been performed 4 surgeries like that, and then they weren't with a good prognosis. So Dr. Caldwell took them and started to give them a plant-based nutrition, whole foods plant-based nutrition, and then the results are awesome.
Of course.
In
And that's
three,
something that you are always suggesting to your patients to change first, to be conscious of their of what they're eating. So a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, a lot of water, right?
yes,
That's very important. But you were mentioning before to me that a lot of people come with the intention that my health is in your hand, cure me with a pill, right?
yeah, that's the kind of medicine that we are doing. So people always try to put their health in our hands, but really, I suggest them that they have to take care of their own health, because it's their own health. So what Dr. Sassin did was this: he gave the patients the power to take care of their own health, and the results are awesome, because he demonstrated that the heart disease can be reversed, something that in medical school they teach us, that heart disease doesn't have a regression. Once you have your arteries like 70% occluded, you can't do anything but having a surgery. And he demonstrated with arteriographies and with all the studies needed, he demonstrated that heart disease can be reversed. So when I learned that, I say to myself, why am I trying to become a heart surgeon if I can give patients the power to take care of their own health, and in that way I can make more for them, and I don't have to study all those years to do that procedures that right now are not the better approach to health. The other doctor that I learned a lot of him is Dr. Colin Campbell. He was involved in a study. This is a statistic study in China. Actually, his book is called The China Study. In the China study, he performed a study in China about the I don't know, the statistics of cancer in the China society. So he demonstrated that cancer are linked to the way that people eat, because in China, in the rural China, where people almost live eating pure vegetables and like jam and rice and carbohydrates, but they are complex carbohydrates, not simple carbohydrates. They don't have diabetes, they don't have heart disease, they don't have cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer. And then if you move a little bit to the big cities in China, like, I don't know, the big cities in China, where people start to eat the standard American diet, the SAT diet, they start to develop the same health issues that we develop here in the West, like colon cancer, breast cancer, diabetes, heart disease. And then he was shocked when he took place. When he realized, yeah, that was the word I was looking for. When he realized that this was happening, and he also performed a lot of tests where he linked a relation between the consumption of animal-based proteins and cancer. So he actually suggests that with nutrition we can take cancer and turn it on and off. Just by changing our diets to plant-based whole foods diets and the standard American diet. So
and obviously we can apply all this to the situation that we are living nowadays too, right?
Yeah, that's the title of the talk,
Dream.
medicine in times of COVID-19, because as I was talking to you, I work here in Mexico in a program that is called Médico en tu casa, like physician in your home, and I go to the houses of the people, and I have witnessed the kind of health crisis that we are immersed. People, there are a lot of people with diabetes, heart disease, obesity is at a top peak. There are a lot of health issues related to the way that we are eating right now in this society, and that society is where this virus arrived in March, April, when this started here in Mexico. And as I witnessed that the people in this city of Cancun are sick. They are sick, but this is not something that happened in a short period of time. This has been happening since, I don't know, the last 30 years. Actually, Cancun is a very young city. We have just have our 50th birthday, so it's a young city, and in that period of time we developed this kind of society. So there is like a turning point in the health of our country, and it was the NAFTA, the TLC, bueno, en español es Tratado de Libre Comercio, NAFTA in English, is North American free trade arrangement. Yeah. So when that happened in the 90s, we started to take the standard American diet and we implemented it in our societies. And if you look at the indicators, obesity took it skyrocketed since there to now. So in the last years, all these diseases these diseases are called diseases of affluence, because they are characteristics of societies with affluence, where you can access to these foods, to these kind of ultra processed foods, and meat, the protein, animal-based protein.
Well, so, you changed your lifestyle, right, years ago, and so you can demonstrate that it's not so difficult to do it, and it's so necessary because you tried on you, and that's remarkable.
Yeah, I actually, in the last 4 years, have been fighting against those compulsions that I had in my eating habits, and as I already told you in the Spanish interview, I also learned that there is some kind of dimension of our lives that we need to take care of it in order to get to a better overall
understanding.
Yeah,
you were talking to me in the Spanish interview a lot about, well, first, obviously this conscious food, but as well being able to recognize and work on your emotion that you didn't like, or the emotion that didn't bring you to a state of balance, and as well your discovering like of the spiritual world, of the importance of this and the connection with Mother Nature.
Yeah. What I learned in this time is, as I already told you, in the medical school, they taught us that there are the human kind is composed of 3 basic spheres. The sphere of the bio, in Spanish, it's biopsychosocial. So in English is the biological, the psychological, and the social part of our species. But what I learned is that there is a sphere that is primordial, that is the first that we need to take care of, and that's the sphere of spirituality. So we human beings are organisms that are spiritualis.
Spiritual, yeah.
Yeah, and we are biological, and we are social species. So if we don't take care of the primordial sphere of our existence, there's no way that we can get to the equilibrium that we are searching for. As I think you saw the video in my YouTube channel where I talk about Hippocrates, and I say that in the time of Hippocrates, the school of Hippocrates was the
Well, that's
Hippocrates.
one for who doesn't know who he is. He was a doctor.
Yeah. Well, Hippocrates, he's known as the father of medicine because he was the first person that suggested that diseases weren't caused by demons and those kind of things. He suggested that diseases have an origin in the relation between the humankind and its environment. So he always told that one of his quotes is, "Let the food be the medicine and the medicine be the food." He stated that kind of things back then, like 2,000 years ago. He is considered the father of medicine, but the teachings of Hippocrates right now are not taken so serious for the major part of the medical
institution
profession. Yeah. So as I told in the video of Hippocrates, I can't recall what I was trying to say, but
well, you were talking about basically the changes, right? In that you have that you put in your life too.
Yeah, I was talking about the spheres and the sphere of spirituality. So that's a principle that need to be understood in this time of crisis, because as I told you before, there's something that we can, I don't know, learn so that we can understand that this is the reality, and that's vibration. As I told you, we vibrate.
You were mentioning studying of our doctors, right, about vibration and energy.
Yeah. So everything that we perceive with our senses is vibration of some kind, and colors are one of those kind of vibrations. Actually, this is funny because I am colorblind. I can see some colors, like, I don't know, green or red. I see them different than all the people. But what I have learned is that vegetables, fruits, they have that kind of color because of some chemicals that are inside of them, the phytochemicals, and those chemicals confer them their properties, anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidant properties. And so the evolution took us to perceive those kind of colors so that we can nurture with them. Vegetables are what we are designed to eat. So all those colors, the colors that are in nature, are there to mark the way for us to a natural nutrition. So everything is vibration. Color is vibration. And what we are doing while consuming plant-based foods, natural foods, is we are taking those vibrations inside of us, and that's the kind of equilibrium that we are searching for. I recall now what I was trying to say. In the medical school, they always talk about homeostasis or homeostasis. Homeostasis is what we are searching for as physicians. It's said that homeostasis is the state of equilibrium where there is no disease, there is no alteration in the metabolism or in our bodies. So what we're searching for is homeostasis, and homeostasis is basically equilibrium. That's what Hippocrates was trying to teach. He was trying to teach a way to get to the homeostasis and so to the equilibrium. And equilibrium is a state that emerges when we are vibrating in a tune that is tuned with what is most elementary in our existence, and that's the spiritual part of us, the part of us that are made of light, that is made of love, that is made of all those kind of vibrations that we feel as love and peace and everything. So when we get to that state of homeostasis, when we get to that state of equilibrium, we then start to heal. So as I told you, healing is something that we physicians can do. Healing is something that gets active in the body once we get to the equilibrium that we need. So in what I am trying to teach my patients is that you have to search for that equilibrium in the food that you take, in the relationship that you have with the ecosystems that you have with everything that surrounds you, and that's also the relationship that you have with the most basic vibrations of yourself, that are spiritual vibrations. So as I told you in the last Spanish interview, physicians talk about the string theory, and the string theory say that everything is vibration, and that in that kind of vibrational universe there must be different dimensions. And that's not what theoretical physicians say. That's what mystics and the spiritual people and the cultures of our continent, like Mayans and in Peru, the Incas, that's why they've been trying to tell us for a lot of time that we are vibration and that we need to search for that equilibrium. So in these times of coronavirus and all the uncertainty and all the fear that are consuming our people, we need to understand that what we have to search for is equilibrium. We have to search for that homeostasis, and the way to get there is by taking responsibility of our basic functionality. Because we can go through the future by keep ignoring that kind of us. Science always try to just accept what you can see and what you can touch and what you can feel with your senses. And there are a universe of a dimension of life that have to be experienced in order to understand it. And that is the dimension of our spirituality. And so,
well, one of my dreams is that we can really everybody have a good talk like the one that we are having now, because I think that, well, every vision can be interesting to see reality as it is. So it's important that we can communicate, and people that are more into spirituality can really communicate with doctors, and there's as well a passing on of information that can help us both doing the best in what we are doing, and actually bringing the people to health. That is what we all want.
Yes, that's it, the objective, as I told you before. And so, in these times, we have to search for that equilibrium. As I told you, this virus is not some kind of enemy that is trying to dissolve humanity. It's not the kind of I don't know. Menace that the institutions are trying to sell us the idea of that. This virus is something that is here so that we can search inside of us for the answers that we are looking for. And the answer we are looking for is always there. It's always there waiting for us to discover it. And that's the sparkle of life. That's the sparkle that shines inside of us and that is waiting to be discovered. And from there, we can experience that kind of equilibrium. And so when this energetical body, that's what we are, it's in equilibrium, then our systems work in equilibrium and our immune system works the way it's meant to be. Right now, we are seeing a lot of people dying of this virus, and in the studies that have already been done, it's demonstrated that they are dying because overreaction of their immune system, because their immune system, once the virus is infecting the tissues, the immune systems release pro-inflammatory proteins. They are called cytokines, and those cytokines cause overreaction of the immune systems, of the cells of the immune system, so they attack the healthy tissue of the lungs, and that's when the pneumonia gets. That kind of pneumonia that is killing people, that is very aggressive. So
what do you suggest, Dr. Alan, to maintain the health?
Yeah, we are right now approaching things as the World Health Organization says that we have to, and that kind of approach are just there are people that are winning with that kind of approach. The industry, as always, the pharmacology industry, and we are searching for a vaccine. For the vaccine, we are using the mouth. How can I say cubrebocas in English? The mask, and that kind of approach is what we are doing right now. But I think that this virus is here, and it's gonna be here for a long time. So what we need to do as soon as possible is start searching for that homeostasis, for that equilibrium in ourselves. This virus is here to teach us that what we are looking for is not in the external world, is right here in the internal world. We need to look inside of us to search for that equilibrium. And with the nutrition, as I told you, once you are in equilibrium, your tendency is to be natural. So nature is what it's gonna bring us the health we are looking for, the homeostasis we're looking for. So once we get in touch with that light that shines inside of us, we are gonna look at this world as what it really is a natural world. It's a world where everything is interconnected, where the ecosystems work in a way that everything works for the same purpose, and that purpose is the unity, perfect unity between species, between humans, and that kind of unity is not going to come unless we start to search for that state of equilibrium, and that's what right now we must do. That's the kind of approach that we should be doing, and not this industrial approach that doesn't benefit all the people.
So do you recommend a part of this conscious nutrition, alkaline nutrition? Do you recommend yoga, meditation, all these kind of practices?
Yeah, right now, what people can start to do right now is meditation. Meditation is something that we can do everywhere. You don't need nothing. Just sit there and try to close your eyes, try to put your mind in peace, and search for that sparkle that is inside of you and of every one of us. That's what we need to start to do as soon as possible, and from there we need to start to change our habits, especially our consume or hábitos de consumo, our consumption habits, because this is a society that it's based right now in consumption. So the power that we people have in our hands is the power of being consumers. We have the option to decide what to take and what not to take. So we have to start to change our consumption habits for more conscious habits, because right now,
I think invest more in the health and spiritual health, mental health, and not just in appearing, right? Because this society where we are is a lot of materialistic, and who has more, who gets more, and really it is that cheap. I think that we really need to change. And sometimes people tell me, you tell me to change, but I don't know how to do it. That's the way, that's the time where you can approach to somebody that can help you, like meditating, just motivating you to follow a diet, or there's a lot of professional. As to in spirituality, we have done many videos with tips that you can really add to your daily life. We are organizing wellness retreats. We are organizing Temazcal, cacao ceremony. These are all activities to help you connect with yourself, because most of the people really have no idea of what makes them happy. They have no idea of who they are and what they have to do, what they would like to do in their life. They're just stuck maybe in what the society wants them to do, or in what they have learned to do. So this is something that as well influences us to be, to lose our health in many different ways. So it's, as you say, it's very important, a combination of being more conscious and use this time that we are recluded to connect more with ourselves, get to know who we are, and take care, love our body, love our being, taking care of it, taking care of Mother Earth, the rest of the people. I think this is the only way we can really come out of this situation strengthened.
Yes. As I don't recall what I was saying. What you told me? What was you were saying something very important, but I don't recall.
Never mind. I forgot a lot of things that I wanted to tell you too when you were talking, but because you say many interesting things before to the interview in Spanish. It was difficult sometimes, so never mind.
Yeah. So what you say right now, we are living in very interesting times. There are like from another talk, but there are a lot of prophecies that are are right now are happening things in our world. Things are going to change in the years to come, and it's a time where science and spirituality gets in contact, in touch, and that works for the people. So, as you said, people that are in the spiritual path, like you and many others, we need to learn from them. We are scientists, we are physicians, and we have learned this way of approaching our humanity. Right now, we need to get involved with spirituality. We need to learn more about ourselves. As you told us, we are there are people that doesn't know who they are, that doesn't know who they really are, and that's what we need in the years to come. We need to identify that we are more than just a body, that we are part of something that is much bigger, and that we have to take care of what we have right now, that this earth is what we need to take care of, and that this kind of society that we have created is actually ending with the equilibrium that once we had. So right now we have to search for the return to that state of light. And it's the time when science and religion, it's not religion because it's spirituality, but the
Well, for me,
endless.
spiritual, they need to get back together and learn one from the other. And the difference really for me is that you don't need anyone to connect spiritually with the divine, with yourself. You can have somebody that helps you and maybe tells you some tricks or some ways, but actually you will discover your own way to connect to the divine, with your spirit, with the plants, with the animal, with everything that surrounds us.
Yeah. Actually, these changes that we need in order to change our world, to make this world a better place, a more equitable place where everyone can achieve what we are looking for. That is a place where people can be really happy, where we can find true happiness. That kind of happiness is not going to come from the externals. I told you before, that kind of happiness is something that we must search inside of us, and then we have to share with the people, to the external. But it's something that each and every one of us, each and every individual, must search inside of them, and then to share with all the people, with all the love and everything that comes with that kind of realization. That is a lot of peace, a lot of love, a lot of light, and then when
Empathy.
you what?
A lot of empathy.
Empathy. Yes, once you find it, you share it with the world, and that's what we really need in these times of coronavirus. Is something that is happening, but we will learn from this year. We will learn from this crisis. We are gonna
Evolve.
endure.
I think we're gonna evolve because my heart is opening, seeing how many people really are getting more conscious in this time frame that is very difficult where we are living, but as well it's a big shift of consciousness for humankind. And well, we are here to keep giving tip, to keep helping the people that are trying to change their lifestyle, really, and they need maybe a tip or just somebody that motivate them. Well, here we are,
Mhm.
motivating you.
Yes, and I think that we, the physicians, the professionals of health, as we call us, we have a greater responsibility, because we need to take this society to a place where health is in the middle of everything. The base of the society that we need to construct, to build, it's health. Once people find health in their lives, they will have the time, the resources, the mental clarity to search for the light that shines inside of them. So it's important that not only a few, or not only me, but every physician in Mexico, and there are a lot of physicians in the United
Around the
States
world, let's say.
talking about this, but here in Mexico, it's hard to find physicians that take this kind of knowledge and that pass it to their patients. So we have a great responsibility, because we are the ones that need to give the power to the people to take care of their own health in their own hands, so that we can build what we are searching for, that it's a functional society, and the base of that functional society must be health. Once people find health, everything else will come in the right time.
Okay. Dr. Alan, thank you very much. Really, I enjoyed so much the talk with you today. It's very important for me to know that out there are doctors like you helping people taking consciousness of their lifestyle. And then as well, you're not just talking, but you did these changes in your life too. And that's incredible. I'm very happy.
Yeah, so I invite every one of you, if you want to learn more about myself and what I have to say, you can go to the YouTube channel, and there are a lot of videos there, interesting videos, and subscribe and everything.
Of course.
That's it. I don't know.
Okay, and if you want, obviously, to know a little bit more about balanced nutrition, meditation, or the spiritual practice that can help you during all this transition, here on the back you can find our webpage. We have a lot of professionals that collaborate with us. Take a look as well to our YouTube page, where there are a few professionals that share tips to maintain health. So it was a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Alan, and see you around. Okay, goodbye.
All right.
Have a good
Goodbye.
Sunday.